It's just a beautiful venue, really intimate, excellent beer and excellent food, and really incredible music.
I absolutely love their quirky and intimate vibe.
The musicians love the place, and so the audience love it as well.
So we're in the EVIE
Yeah.
with it's all about
Everyone
us.
thinks we're a couple. I don't know why.
We've been best friends since school, so we'd always talk about how amazing it would be to have a venue, the kind of venue that we'd like to hang out.
Yeah.
The kind of place where we'd like to go to listen to music.
Well, it reminds me a bit of playing at the Bluebird in Nashville. There's not much separation between the audience and the person who's singing, which is a really cool thing for the performer as well as the audience, I think. And it sounds really good too.
We have a bit of a philosophy here that I've tried to create. My favourite moments of Green Note are when you forget there's anything between you and the musicians. And when you kind of break down that barrier between the performer and the audience, something really magical can happen in the room, and that's where we get our atmosphere from. It's a real pleasure to see a lot of the musicians come through here go on to bigger and better things. Sometimes they get a little bit too big to come back to our little tiny room that we love so much, but quite often they come back anyway and just don't tell that many people about it. It's a great feeling to feel like you've been a part of that journey to that kind of success.
There are plenty of things about the Green Note that make it exceptionally special as a venue, and not least the two women, Evie and Risa, that run it. Everything that they do seems to be done very gracefully and very effortlessly. You know, all the way from DIY to the big decisions, they're doing it all themselves.
We wanted to create a scene, bring a community to us, and there is a scene out there. I think we've tapped into it, but also created it as well.
This is not a business you do for the business side of it. This is
You've got to do it for the love of it.
for the love of it.
You just feel amazing vibrations. You just feel great when you're here. It's actually very, very rare, I find, in London to be at a place with so much heart.
Good evening and welcome. It is Wednesday, the 7th of March, and it's the 98th episode of Virtually Green Note. My name's Emma, and I will be your host this evening. Thank you very much for joining us wherever in the world that you are tonight. We are delighted to have you. Please do let us know where you're tuning in from, because the artists love to see that just as much as we do here at Green Note. We've got a brilliant bluegrass lineup for you this evening, curated by True North Music. First up, we've got a duo originally from New Jersey and California who met while studying at the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston, blending old-time and bluegrass fiddle, guitar, banjo and vocal harmonies with contemporary songwriting. They combined the polished technique of conservatoire training with the grit, drive and soul of their musical heroes, legendary mountain musicians like Roscoe Holcomb and Ola Belle Reed. They have won a variety of accolades along the way, becoming regulars on the global festival circuit, sharing bills with the likes of Ricky Skaggs, Michael Daves and Red Tail Ring, amongst others, and they've released their latest self-titled album in summer 2020, following up previous releases under their former name, Hoot and Holler. Broadcasting from Nashville, Tennessee, please welcome Amy Alvey and Mark Kiliansky of Golden Shoals.
Heyo.
Hello, you two. How are you?
Good. How are you, Emma?
Very well, thank you very much. Delighted to have you guys on the show.
Great to be here.
Oh, that's good. It's looking very sunny where you are. Is that just the brilliant lighting setup you've got there in your room?
It might be that. It might be that it's 2 p.m.
Oh, I see.
Maybe a little of both. Yeah.
Lovely.
Not nature for us.
Yeah, middle of the day. So next up, we have got a Nashville-based duo, originally hailing from the San Francisco Bay Area and Virginia, who started out as a bluegrass band, becoming veterans of touring the world, as well as topping Rolling Stone magazine's list of 10 new country artists to watch. They've always drawn on a broad palette of influences reflected in their third album, 2020's Impossible World, which moved further into roots pop and Americana, and have experimented with folk, rock, world music and Afro beats with their various projects. project. They've long stood up for diversity and inclusion in American roots music, and Melody's song Live and Let Live, co-written with Justin Hiltner, has become an anthem for bluegrass pride in the USA. Broadcasting from Nashville, please welcome Melody Walker and JACOB GROOPMAN of Front Country.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
It's our absolute pleasure. It's just lovely to see you. Just you're all duos this evening, which is very nice as well. We love it. And last but not least, we have got a duo based in Oakland, California, who are originally from Texas and New York City. They perform a unique mix of Appalachian roots music, step dance, and body percussion. They've performed in venues across the world, from sold-out concert halls to cozy living rooms, including performances at WOMAD Festival and here at Green Note. In 3D, of course, the real Green Note. Clogging and playing banjo since she was a child, Evie's also a leader, choreographer of all-female dance troupe Motor Dance, and Keith is a founder of the International Body Music Festival and has performed and taught body percussion in prestigious venues worldwide for decades, both solo and in his duo with Evie. Broadcasting from Oakland, California, please welcome Evie Ladin and Keith Terry. Hello, you two.
Nice to be here.
Harry. Oh, well, it's lovely to see you. Everybody's looking extremely well. So we are regulars. I was just going to say, you know the next bit, but for anybody new who is joining us this evening, Virtually Green Note takes the form of a writer's run. So what that means is that each artist is going to take it in turns to perform a song, and then in between songs we're hopefully going to hear a little bit more about the ideas and the inspiration behind their songs. So then they're going to hand over to the next artist. So tonight we're going to start with Golden Shoals, followed by Front Country, and then Evie Ladin and Keith Terry. So we're going to do 2 rounds of that, and then we're going to take a little break. Then we're going to do another couple of rounds, including a cover version of the artist's choice. So, kicking us off for this evening, we've got Golden Shoals. Take it away, guys.
Woo-hoo!
All right. Happy to be kicking it off.
Yeah, we're going to do a song that's on the album that we came out with this past August. It's one I wrote after one too many times of being in the friend-cest situation. Friend-cest meaning when your ex starts dating your best friend a little too soon than you might have liked. So I think a lot of us have been in that situation and can relate to that. Here we go.
We'll start with a slow one so we have somewhere to go.
Yeah, good call.
Way back in the summer, far away from this cruel winter day. We were fresh off of other encounters that left us feeling unsure of ourselves, tossed out like the trash. We found each other. We were crown jewels put back on the shelf. Your loving was kind and sweet-tempered, but the big road was calling my name. We said we'd keep track of each other without ever holding a claim. I did my best to do right by you. It seems like you missed the mark. It looks like you found yourself a new friend, and I found out who you really are. someone I thought I could trust. I didn't think you could hit so close to home. You needed a fool and I played the part. It looks like you found yourself a new friend, and I found out who you really are. I took my chances when I let you go. I knew that you might bring somebody home. How could I expect she'd be my dearest old friend? Now she's someone that I used to know. Someday I will learn to forgive her. With you I'll make peace from afar. It looks like you found yourself a new friend, and I found out who you really are. It looks like you found yourself a new friend, and I found out who you really are.
All right.
Yeah.
You gotta wiggle the guitar to make it sound better, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
some
love that
fancy notes,
song.
Mark.
Oh, I try.
Yeah, Mark, that's Mark Kiliansky. He plays the fancy notes. I play some notes, but mostly chords, you know? At least on this thing.
I'm
Fancy
excited to
Kolansky.
Fancy Klansky.
That's what I'm gonna call you from now on.
I'm excited to hear some of Jacob's fancy notes.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song, you guys. Though it's such a classic sound.
Aw, thank you.
Shucks.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
We've been married too long to know what you're talking about anymore.
You guys never get the wandering eye at the festival?
We've been
Is
home
that too
for a year,
personal?
so yeah, we're not gonna go there. maybe after this year. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, we go into enough fiddlers conventions and old time festivals, or just festivals in general. You know, you get to know some people intimately, and
I had a girlfriend once from Paris, and she used to say, just because you order the combo doesn't mean you can't still look at the menu.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, for years, Keith used to say, maybe you'd be happier with an old-time fiddler. And I kept saying, have you met old-time fiddler?
Yeah. It's good to see you guys, man.
It's great to see you all.
Yeah.
Hey, Melody and Jacob, what are you heading into?
I think we're going to do a classic song that we used to do as a duo and play in front country too. This is one, it was a fantasy I used to have about wanting to be in a family band, which I've since been disabused of by all of my friends who grew up in family bands. They're like, it's not all it's cracked up to be, and some of them have even refused to play this song with me because it's too traumatic for them. So,
as long as you got the outfits.
Yeah, matching like pink shirts and white pants.
And like clogging skirts. Yeah, totes.
Maybe,
All right.
maybe some rhinestones sequins.
Tennessee, baby.
Yeah. This is
So
yeah.
this one, feel free to sing along at home if you're feeling it. It's definitely got sing-along vibes. Ready?
Mhm.
1, 2, 3.
wanna be in a family band, rolling down the road with your hand in my hand, living and loving the best we can. Oh, I wanna be in a family band. I wanna roll with people I know, trucking through the rain and the sleet and snow, smiling through the pain 'cause it makes us grow. I wanna roll with the people I know.
What about you?
I wanna play every night and day, picking like the Dickens the whole damn way, shining our love out from every stage. I wanna play every night and day.
Well, why don't you?
I wanna hear them singing our songs, even long after we're dead and gone, ringing in eternity on and on. I wanna hear them singing our songs. I wanna be in a family band, rolling down the road with your hand in my hand, living and loving the best we can. Oh, I wanna be in a family band. Oh, I wanna be in a family band, rolling down the road with your hand in my hand, living and loving the best we can. I wanna be in a family band. Oh, I wanna be in a family band. Oh, I wanna be in a family band.
Yeah!
Woo!
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, everybody.
That song works so well. It sounds so sketchy in theory, but you guys pulled it off so well.
What does that mean?
Really?
It's
No,
definitely-
please
definitely
elaborate. I really
sketchy
want to
in
know what you
theory.
mean. Like, what's sketchy? Like
Oh, just-
lyrically or changes?
Just a song about being in a family band. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds cheesy, but
Oh, it
it's
is.
not cheesy. Or it's
All right,
not
you
too
wanna-
cheesy.
you
It's
wanna
Like
get
earnest.
that
cheesy?
fine fromage, maybe.
And a little known fact, long ago, I was sort of in a short-lived family band with my sister and her husband, and it was called Tongue and Groove. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but
Especially for a family band.
Probably didn't think you were sisters either.
Well, Evie and Keith, do you guys jam with your son at all? I mean, your son's like a music producer and plays piano and all that, so you guys must have some family band jam vibes.
Yeah, I've been playing with him a lot. We kind of switch off between, he plays piano and drums, and I play drums mostly, and sometimes bass. And Evie's even been sitting in on electric guitar occasionally.
Woo!
it took a pandemic to get us to play together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we geek out. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's been one of the highlights, is having him actually home more before he leaves home for good.
And he really became a piano player during this pandemic. So that's exciting for us to hear.
So what do y'all got for us?
All right, I'm going to take off the headphones.
Yeah.
And we're going to, this is like an ode to our former life here. Ooh, off the headphones, on the hat.
From headphone hair to hat hair.
1, 2, 3, 4. Home again, flying through time. Black midnight highway, red neon signs. I can't hold my head up, my bones aren't stacking. They all fall down on the floor. But give me a moment, and you'll find me restless. Jump up, head out on the road. A few days of life on a schedule. You'll find me ready to jump up and go. Imagine how I feel now. Jump up and go. Jump up. Well, I know that home sweet feeling. They sing about that feeling. I've been here before. same old worn floorboards and cracks in the ceiling. Lord, I love coming home, but give me a moment. You'll find me restless. Jump up, head out on the road. A few days of life on a schedule. You'll find me ready to jump up and go. Jump up and go. Jump up. In my life, I've come close to dying, narrowly missing the end. If this is my one chance, I'm gonna take it. Do everything that's in my head. Gonna see what this world has to offer and how all you people live. And then I click my heels 3 times together, 'cause there's no place like home. But give me a moment, you'll find me restless. Jump up, head out on the road. A few days of life on a schedule. You'll find me ready to jump up and go. Jump up and go. I'm having a fingernail malfunction. Jump up, hit the road, been home too long. Ain't no use in hanging on. Go where the water tastes like wine. Hit the road, been home too long. Ain't no use in hanging on. Go where the climate suits my clothes. I'm going where the chilly winds don't blow.
All right, let's break it down.
And when I get tired, I know where my home is. That feeling, I've been here before. Out the back door and into the garden. I love coming home. But give me a moment, you'll find me restless. Jump up, head out on the road. A few days of life on a schedule. You'll find me ready to jump up and go. You'll find me ready, jump up and go. 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 Jump up.
Woo!
Yeah.
Jump up. Jumping up. Yeah. That's a fun one.
So good.
You guys ready to go back out on tour now? Let's all do
Definitely
a show.
not ready to come home.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, your backyard's pretty dreamy.
It is. Can you imagine getting tired of these beautiful things?
Well, I can. Yes. I mean,
It's been a real oasis for us.
Yeah.
It's really saved us to have a little outdoor space that's so beautiful.
well, and that's what's interesting is like, I mean, I moved to Nashville just in July, and even since I've moved, it's funny to be like, there's so many people have moved to Nashville, because I'm no way like entitled to be like the local curmudgeon of like, this town. But a lot of people have moved to Nashville since even I've gone here, and it's I think it's like just like basically a lot of people from New York and Boston who want like the same level of musicianship as those cities, but they want the outdoor space because that's just been like a saving grace.
I can't imagine like, living in Boston, New York.
Oh my God!
Being in a small apartment with no outdoors,
without even a balcony or something with young children,
and paying that rent during the pandemic too. The rent was why we moved to Nashville, honestly.
Yeah,
big part.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the music.
No, it's you guys too. It's all the friendly friends and the music
I was like,
too.
really? Is that all? We could have just moved to Indiana or something.
It's
and
not
so
just
do you
the
all
rent.
do you all in Nashville have a chance to hang out with folks outside and masked and all that?
Yeah,
And play some
totally.
music together?
Yeah, we've hung out a little bit. Wait, this way.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't seen you, Mark. Maybe I've seen Amy a few times.
I'm not. Yeah, I moved
Mark's
to
an
Toronto.
expat now.
I moved to a basement in Toronto at one point during the pandemic. That was interesting.
Risky move.
Yeah, I'm down here in Nashville for about 5 weeks, just doing stuff with Amy. Done a few live streams, doing some photos and videos and stuff like that. So it's good to be down here where it's actually spring.
We're batching that content, as they say, you know?
Yeah, we did the same thing back in October with our
with
the other members of Front Country.
Yeah, right. Got some more videos coming out soon with that, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Well, you guys sound awesome as a duo. I love it. It's,
Thanks.
Before
Front Country, we were a duo, an official duo.
Yeah.
Hey, before you guys head into your next song, I just want to give a shout out to Vicky Anand, who's in the audience and was in the audience every time we played the Green Note. That's where we would see her show up. So here's to live Green Note peeps showing up.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to the Green Note.
Venue.
Green Note is awesome.
Such a fun venue.
It is a great venue.
It is a great venue. So the Shoals de Golden, you got another one for us? You got your banjo out.
She'll do another one. Yeah, you inspired me, Evie.
All right.
I'm not the banjo player you are, but I'll do a little bit of Doc Boggs style finger picking and singing in one of his spooky tunings, and do a song that is on our most recent album. This tune, it's pretty definitively a Trump era protest song, but it's actually got a lot of themes in it that still resonate today, including, you know, a critique of the oil industry, and there's a lot of fights going on still to this day with the Dakota Access Pipeline and another one called Line 3. So there's a lot of activism and news around that, a lot of big court decisions and legislation coming up. So y'all keep an eye out on that.
I just want to also mention, not only did Mark write this song, but he also built this banjo that he's playing. So.
Sweet.
Thanks for tooting my horn there.
Ooh la la.
So I didn't have to do it.
So to speak.
Let me just make sure.
This tune is called The Brood of Hate. All the leaves are dry and dying, air takes on a chill. The shadowed clouds are gathering now upon that hallowed hill. And the specter of the working man's savior is a bold and a boisterous light, and everyone wants to be Jesus Christ, but nobody wants to die. Don't you ever trust no oil man. He wears a suit and tie. An oil man will destroy your land, and he'll drink your blood like wine. And the brood of hate has sprouted wings. They take their wicked flight. They shine their claws and they sharpen their jaws. The scapegoat dies tonight. There's a monster in the White House, and he's doing his very best to bonify his bankroll and to hide his hollow breast. 300 million prisoners from sea to shining sea. The devil hides
and he has your sympathy. And he has your sympathy.
Thanks. Thank you.
I've never attempted that Doc Boggs style finger picking. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like 3 fingers, but it's not Earl Scruggs by any means.
Yeah.
I've seen like Bascom and Lamar Lunsford do sort of similar things.
Oh yeah.
With like weird 3-finger style, right? Am I wrong about that?
Hell yeah.
He was from Asheville area, right?
Bascom, yeah.
Bascom, yeah.
That's an awesome protest song, man. I really dig it.
Thanks.
Obviously, there's a lot of those coming around.
Yeah.
There's been a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, Trumpism is not dead. We're still got some pretty brutal capitalism going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still have an imperfect government.
Have you noticed the conversation that I've noticed so much amongst musicians is how brutal being on the road was before the shutdown, and that it was kind of an unsustainable pace. And I mean, we've been doing this a little bit longer, and I've definitely seen it shift over the course of my career. More and more people kind of pursuing music as a career as audiences decline, and how fast you have to move and all of that. And I just find it really interesting how many musicians are like, boy, it's nice to have a break. I couldn't take a break before, but everyone talks about reconstructing the model to be something different. And I'm curious, without, totally derailing the music concert, if you have any thoughts of if that's even possible or what that might look like as you go out there, because we're all sort of operating in similar but different milieus here.
Yeah, that's a big question. But I think it's vital to explore that. Since we're kind of like a 2-city band at this point, where I'm kind of based in Toronto right now and going to be based in Vancouver starting later this year. I guess we're maybe lucky in a way where, like, by nature of that, we can't tour all the time. We're going to be forced to have, decent breaks so that we can spend time with our loved ones.
Yeah. And I think the hardest thing is like getting everybody on the same page of like it's like when bands are first starting out, they're just like hungry to play gigs, and they'll play for tips, and they'll like do anything for the exposure, the experience, and it kind of like screws everybody else over because like, it's just keeps, it's like,
but there will always be those people.
Always.
Who'll take the lower paying gigs.
Yep.
Yeah, and that makes it hard for everyone else.
And they're just kind of grist for the mill at that point. It's kind of rough in this business. There's a lot of people who want to do music, and like you said, Evie, it's like scarcity in the audience, and I think I have no idea what the answer is. It's something I'm thinking about a lot, obviously, but I think the main thing is that I'm not just pushing that feeling aside anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like actually listening to it and being like ready for something new. And I think for years I was just pushing it aside and just grinding it out on the road and just always covering over everything with activity, even like my own mental health and physical health and all of that stuff, which is so much activity, and that's just not sustainable in any way. So I don't know if there's a good solution, but I know that I deserve better as a human. So admitting that and trying to figure out a solution is key.
And it's cool to see. I mean, there are it's kind of like small, but like unionizing kind of happening. Like there's there was
Spotify, like a union growing around, justice in Spotify and streaming payments.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I do also feel like, you can't swim upstream the whole time. You kind of have to observe the way the world is going and then ideally create something that you want to see in it. It's going to have to be like from, especially now coming out of the pandemic, just like when we get to come out of it, of being small, more populist kind of movements. And I just appreciate all the people showing up for this concert tonight. And it's people like you who are going to be supporting having this live music. But I also feel, you guys know me, that I feel so strongly about participation, not just consumerism. And music has been put more into a consumption model and less into participation. And those of us who play old time music and bluegrass are really all about participation. And I feel like the more people who play, who really get over that a huge adult sized hump of not being able to do something unless you're already good at it, just being active in it. And it's just going to make everybody feel so much better to be able to do something together, not just consume. And because all we've had the chance to do these days is either play by ourselves or consume things on a screen. And it's soul killing in a way to just limit to that.
It absolutely is. I think it's no surprise that I'm having kind of a crisis of finding meaning in music these days with myself, because I have completely tied it to this capitalist model that really is an illusion. There's so many other functions of music in the world, that are more rewarding and meaningful, and to be able to bring, I'm trying to figure out how to bridge that with the capitalist model that we do in fact inhabit still. And participation is a huge part of that. Love doing that during shows. It just makes it feel so much more inclusive for the whole audience. And then I'm just trying to figure out other ways too that I can feel like it has meaning beyond just let me play for you for money.
Well, you do write some very sing-alongable songs, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you guys got for us next?
Very sing-alongable song. Yeah, we got a protest song here. This one is kind of aging interestingly, because it was another Trump era protest song, kind of more based around how it seemed like as rough as things were getting, people were starting to wake up to ideas that had been sort of pushed aside for a long time, as far as anti-racism and the Me Too movement, a lot of stuff coming into the fore, and feels like we have an opportunity to sort of wake up if we keep doing the work, if we all actually start doing it. So that's what the song's about, but it happens to use a metaphor of a sickness that I wrote the song well before the coronavirus pandemic, but it started to take on a different meaning in the last year. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not sure how it hits people's ears, and let's just see. We'll see.
It's a great song.
If you dig it or not. This is called The Reckoning, and it's on Front Country's new record as well.
Can't go back to the way we were before we jumped the track, as if this engine wasn't spinning long before the final act. We can't go back, the only way is through. It's a call to all the work we have to do. But if you're ready for the reckoning, then sing it out loud. It's not the first time that we've been here, but we'll figure it out. Sometimes the sickness is a gift, so we can make the medicine and be ready for the reckoning. When the truth is thin, gotta shout it out and make it ring again. Once we're finally tired of running from the things we won't admit, we'll start again on a foundation built with trust and a love that's big enough for all of us. And if you're ready for the reckoning, then sing it out loud. It's not the first time that we've been here. here, but we'll figure it out. Sometimes the sickness is a gift, so we can take the medicine and be ready for the reckoning. Sometimes the sickness is a gift, so we can make the medicine and be ready for the reckoning. Maybe the sickness is a gift, so we can take the medicine and be ready for the reckoning.
What a prescient song. Amazing.
That word came to mind as well to me.
Oh, man,
Prescient.
I wish it wasn't.
Right, yeah.
But how do you guys feel about how sickness rings in that? You know, I was very conflicted early in the pandemic singing that.
It does. Well, I think now that we're like, I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like we've rounded the hump a bit. So like, it's kind of like, I think there's some optimism now. So I feel like maybe it's good to reflect on that. Like, it didn't feel like an ooh, too soon moment to me personally, but
yeah,
it's a metaphor, you know. Obviously, it just happens to ring extremely true.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't take it so literally either, because I feel like there's so many like societal sicknesses going on as well.
Oh yeah,
so.
for sure.
Wait, did you listen to the lyrics? I'm sorry, I'm shocked.
Oh, is he not a lyric guy?
No, he's not a lyric guy.
Yeah, great tune.
Yeah,
I'm not either,
Jacob's
Keith, it's
kind of
okay.
like that. I usually catch the lyrics on the first one, and it takes him a few listens to like be like, oh, what was that song about?
I know, like sometimes I'll say, hey Keith, sing harmony on this part. He goes, what are the words? I'm like, we've been playing this song for 10 years.
For me, it's all about the emotion, you know. It's like, which is why I can enjoy so much music of languages I don't understand. I love that,
true.
you know, all kinds of music in that way.
For me, what always grabs me first is melody, like a compelling melody. And then like
grab her.
But and then if that melody's compelling, then I'll listen closer to the lyrics, for better or for worse. That's just my vibe.
Hey, I'm curious though. Is it the melody or is it the intervals?
It's the line. The line of the melody.
The whole flow of it.
Yeah.
The roller coaster
question
ride.
is that?
Because sometimes certain intervals really hit me hard within the melody, you know?
Totally.
Well, chords too. Yeah, chords behind. Yeah, certain chords. Like one of my favorites so Mark and I met at Berklee College of Music for this. Who don't know us, and I had this friend Michael Jones who he loved the chord 4 minor, which has a very specific sound, and he would just be like, man, every time I hear 4 minor, it just like makes my back hurt almost, you know, just like, oh, it just gets him right in the so it's like, it's not even synesthesia at that point.
Yeah.
It's like
kind of
physical.
Well, I do a lot of trying to overcome this fear my students have of understanding even the most basic music theory. You know, I always liken it to like the pirate code on the back of the cereal box that you just have to figure out, you know, the relationship of numbers to letters and that kind of thing. But explaining how, you know, why you use the number system and that chords have an emotional relationship to the key you're in, and kind of getting them on board with like all the ways that you perceive music. You know, because some people are really visual learners, and I really try to teach in the most traditional way of encouraging people to think more circularly about music, not so linear. Again, so you just like, you absorb it as you go and you keep adding. As long as you can play in time and in tune, you can join in, and then you start hearing all the things that you hear in there.
Totally. I love just that basic concept of like home and away, you know, like that's the first thing to like kind of get people into, you know, whether 5 is away and 1 is home, or different things can feel like home and away in different contexts, you know, and just feeling like a gradient of like always like coming back to home, but then drifting away. And yeah.
This is great stuff because I'm actually teaching in like an 8-week fiddle theory class, and we just started talking about 1, 4, and 5 chords. And anyway.
Yeah, like 4 is not so away. It's just a neighbor. It's right there.
Yeah, it's your best friend's house. Well, I bet Evie and Keith, I bet you guys have some 1, 4, 5s in this. If I were to guess, segue.
It's actually an
out.
It's actually an atonal piece.
We're even going to throw a 6 in there. But,
a 6.
No problem.
Crazy.
Sounds like folk music.
This song we're going to sing is sort of similar in mood to what Melody and Jacob put out. And I wrote it actually up in the Yuba River, under the water, floating, which is my favorite place to be. And amazingly enough, last summer we were able to go up to the Yuba River for 2 whole weeks, which we've never taken a 2-week vacation. We actually went camping for 10 days, which we had never done together without a festival or a reason or a gig. We just had never taken that kind of open time that normal people take. Because, as you know, we get to experience a lot of great stuff while out on the road, but never long enough.
A little bit.
So having 2 whole weeks up by the river to float and just feel anti-gravity was miraculous for me. And I must admit, my skin literally turned to leather. So this is called Under the Waterline. This is on our record, Jump the Fire. Under the waterline, gravity ends, my body is a no thing. It's a skeleton floating in space. Time with no end under the waterline. There is no tread, but out of the water, the world it comes again in all its greatness and all its pain. Gravity settles right on my head out of the water. There's a heavy tread, but right on the surface it ripples and it pools. Day becomes night and we all are fools. At the horizon where gravity starts, out in the open, my beating heart.
you
All
do it? How can
right.
they make bubble sounds?
That was definitely serene. I definitely felt like I was floating on the river.
It was lovely.
Beautiful.
Maybe missed the yuba. Ah, so good.
Ready to be underwater.
It was lovely. Especially love the little bubbles at the end. That was special. So thanks very much, guys, for a really wonderful first half. That was just great. So now we have reached the interval. So we're going to leave our lovely musicians here to have a little break. So to our artists, you could go grab a drink or anything else that you need, and you'll have 5 minutes before you need to come back to us. So we will see you in a bit.
I'll just get a samosa. Be right back.
All right. So viewers, I'm going to hand you over now to our lovely Imi and Risa. They are the founders and owners of Green Note. They're the ones who book all these brilliant musicians and do all the fantastic programming here at Green Note. So they're going to give us all the latest updates and news. Please welcome Imi and Risa.
Hey, Emma.
Hello.
Hey, Emmy.
Hello, hello.
Hey out there.
How are you?
What an
Everyone
absolutely
watching.
gorgeous show.
It's
Really,
great.
really
It's so
lovely.
good today. It's really brilliant to have duos, isn't it? Hearing
It
the
is.
interaction between them. We've had so many solo artists on this show for obvious reasons that it's really, not one but 3 duos and one.
Yeah. They're kind of like greater than the sum of their parts, the duos, aren't they?
Definitely.
I know what you mean.
And like they
tonight
all know each other, you know.
Yeah, I know. Tonight it was, we didn't program tonight actually. It was programmed by True North Music, the lovely Maria from True North Music. So
Curated
she's done
it, yes.
Yeah, she's done a great job.
Mm.
And I know
Yeah.
she's watching. She's in the chat.
Hi, Maria.
Big up to True North Music.
Yeah.
Right, ladies, I will I'll leave you to it and I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
See you in a bit, Emma.
Yeah, so this is our little regular halftime announcements.
Indeed.
If you're regulars, feel free to go fill your glasses, do what you want to do, grab a samosa, do
Have a
what
sip
you
of
need
my
to do.
kombucha.
There you go. But if you're new to Virtually Green Note, welcome. It's always great to have new viewers, so it's great to have you here. We are here twice a week, every Wednesday and Friday night at 8 p.m. UK time. So please do join us again. It's always 3 brilliant artists playing in the round, and they're always very varied lineups. We have a lot of American artists, but a lot of from all over the world actually.
All over,
British
we've had a
artists
lot of
and
British
we've got a
recently as well.
We've got a Swedish artist coming up in a couple of weeks, or next. Yeah, I don't know.
We've had
lost
Aussies.
track of time, but Australians. The Aussies
Yeah.
are hardcore actually because it's like 5 a.m. for them.
Yeah.
But so do join us again. It's so it's 8 o'clock UK time, but obviously if you are in Australia, we're not going to make you stay up till 5 a.m. We keep the links live for a week afterwards, so you can spread the word and watch again, do all of that. We're on all the social media, so actually if you're watching now not on your phone, just grab your phone if it's nearby, and while you're thinking about it, just follow us on Instagram or Twitter if you use one of those. Or actually, you know what, I'm going to put we've got a little ticker thing. That
No time like the present to do it. And to also
So
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Exactly. So subscribe, do all of the things that you do on social media, because it's a good way of keeping in touch with what's going on with these shows, on a more regular basis. But we also do have a mailing list, which is just about 2 emails a month we send, so you can hear more about these shows on that, and also what's happening in Green Note, our little venue in Camden, which is not very much right now, but we do have a opening, not date but time, so we will be reopening at the end of June, which we're super excited about. So keep an eye on our website for that. But in the meantime, we're going to continue with these shows.
And we're coming up to our 100th episode soon, aren't we? Which is hard to believe, but we've got
is.
something special planned for that, so check out our website if you haven't heard about it already. But just a few words about how we run these shows and how we've managed to keep them going for so long and support artists during this difficult time is that we don't sell tickets, but we do very much welcome donations. So if you can and are able to, if you could make a donation via our PayPal link, which you will find listed everywhere, Facebook, YouTube, and our website. And I'm also putting it in the chat right now in the comments. So we usually say a suggested donation of £10 per show, which is an utter bargain,
It
especially
really is
tonight
for a
for
night
three
like tonight.
duos. Yeah,
Exactly.
3 of such amazing acts.
Really great.
But anything you can manage, that's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
That anything is massively welcome and
It really is.
appreciated. And if you don't have PayPal, also just drop us an email and we can let you know other ways you can contribute. But just so you know where the money goes, it's divided 4 ways. The donations for each show are divided 4 ways between the 3 acts who are playing, and then the last quarter goes towards the running costs of the show. So thank you in advance. Some of you have donated already, and
thank you.
Thank you for that. And those of you who, if you're enjoying the show and you'd like to make a donation, thank you so much on behalf of, well, us at Green Note and also the artists.
The artists, yeah.
Yeah, who were talking earlier about how strange and tough this year has been, and there are advantages to it as well, of, you know, kind of taking stock of everything and deciding what changes you want to make. But in terms of having the freedom to work, it's something that they really haven't had in terms of at least playing live.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's true.
So anything
Should we
about
just talk-
upcoming shows? Yeah.
So
next one is
this Friday. We've got Hannah Reid, who's an incredible Scottish fiddle player. She's based in Brooklyn, but she's originally Scottish. Actually, she's a multi-instrumentalist and singer, but I think she's
Mostly
best known
fiddle,
as a
yeah.
fiddle player. With Taylor Ashton, he's actually, if you might have seen him at Green Note. He was in Fish and Bird. He's a clawhammer banjo. Do you remember? Clawhammer banjo player. So kind of old time. Yeah, he's brilliant. And Jordan Tice, who's a newer discovery. So, but yeah, not 3 American artists, 3 American-based artists this Friday. 3 more, because tonight's American-based too.
There's just a lovely message from Maria, from True North Music, I assume it's Maria, saying that usually in normal times she books tours for these artists, these acts playing tonight and other similar amazing acts. And we've all been pulling together to keep live music going during this time. It's been,
exactly. I think she might be based in Huddersfield or somewhere up north. But yeah, when things do reopen, definitely we'll check her out. Her stuff out now, but she does live gigs up there too. So if you're local to there, definitely check out what she's doing if you like this kind of music, because she's got great taste.
We love this kind of music, so it's good to have these acts at Green Note as well. Shall we get back to them?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Cool.
We will. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks,
Lovely. See you
Thanks,
later.
Emma.
So we're going to welcome back to the virtual stage our brilliant artists. So please welcome back Amy Alvey and Mark Kiliansky of Golden Shoals.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello, welcome back.
Thanks.
And please welcome back to the virtual stage Melody Walker and Jacob Groopman of Front Country.
Oh, hi.
Hi there. And last but not least, please welcome back Evie Ladin and Keith Terry.
Hey.
Hello.
Very happy to be here.
Good. How was the samosa? Did you have one?
Delicious. No.
Good.
That sounds really good right now.
That's what they have at the Green Note is samosas.
Yes, we do.
Nice.
Oh, I miss those samosas so badly, but not long now. You must all come back and have a samosa.
Yes.
I had an incredible Indian meal just down the street from the Green Note.
Ah, nice.
Blew my mind.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of lovely options down in Parkway. We're a bit lucky where we are in Camden. It's good. Right, kick us off for the second half. Golden Shoals.
Okay. By the way, that's an awesome show. It sounds like you guys have coming up. Hannah Reid, Jordan Tice, and Taylor Ashton.
Very
fun. Fun fact. I actually make a brief cameo in Taylor Ashton's latest music video.
Nice.
Because I was living in Toronto. I mentioned I lived in that basement for a bit, but I moved into a house that has other musicians as roommates, and some of them got enlisted to act in this video, which is a recreation of a scene from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I'm one of the extras during a party scene. So
Awesome.
Big feather in my cap right there. But yeah, for those of you watching out there, check out that show. It's going to be awesome.
And if you have a minute, I also make a brief appearance in the movie Hairspray.
Amazing.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Like the original one?
John Waters.
That
I
is
was
epic,
a
Evie.
teenager in Baltimore when he was filming, so.
That's
And
legendary.
Also, fun fact, I was supposed to do a whole week of dancing in the film, but I had a summer job and the extras weren't getting paid and I needed to work. So I didn't get to do any more, but I'm a screaming teenage fan in Hairspray.
Yes.
But it's almost as good as being in Taylor Ashton's video.
Almost as good. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I guess we're on to the cover portion of the show.
Yeah.
Which is quite convenient for us because we actually, the most recent thing we recorded and are releasing is part of a compilation album, a tribute to John Lilly, who's a wonderful songwriter from West Virginia. He's just wrote dozens and dozens of great songs that sound like they're 200 years old. And he's had some health issues, so our friend Jackson Emmer put together this project to help him get some funds during these hard times. So we worked on his tune called Drifting Tune, and that's what we're going to play for you.
Yeah, the album is really cool because like Tim O'Brien plays on it, and covered a song, and Tom Paxton and Maya DeVitri and a bunch of other great people. And Golden Shoals.
Sam Moss, Kathy Mattea, lots of amazing artists on there. It's available for pre-order, so go look for that. John Lilly, April in Your Eyes.
I'm going to take this off.
Yeah, good idea. And this is John Lilly's Drifting Tune. North is the way of the drifting tune. South is the way of change. East is the way of the rising moon, and west, the end of the day. Meet me in the mountains, for that's where I'll be waiting and counting, I'll be counting on you, counting on me. North is the way of the drifting tune, south is the way of change, east is the way of the rising moon, and west, the end of the day. Call me and I will come flying to you in a heartbeat. My heart will be trying to shelter from pain, shepherd you through. North is the way of the drifting tune, south is the way of change, east is the way of the rising moon, and west, the end of the day. East is the way of the rising moon, and west, the end of the day. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the drifting tune.
Very
Put
nice.
on our headphones.
By John Lilly.
All right.
It's so hard to get the headphones on with all this hair in the way.
Oh
You
my
guys
God.
like this?
Fancy
I-
Kiliansky.
Fancy
Classic.
Kiliansky.
I need a haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, good segue. We got our own inside jokes on this show. It's that part of the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we have a cover from another John that we're gonna do.
You don't say.
It's sad circumstances, but this is the anniversary of when we lost John Prine last year to COVID.
Today?
That was
Today,
heartbreaking.
yeah.
Today's the anniversary. I know it seems really early in the pandemic, a year, but that's when it
Yeah.
was, and it was, yeah, it was a sad situation. That really brought the pandemic home for me personally to have a legacy artist like that pass away
Yeah.
from it. It just felt like he was stolen from us, because he was
Yeah.
absolutely still out there.
It's like it got real when that happened.
It's not the same as a family member dying, but it is
Pretty
in a way
close.
kind of like having
Pretty
a loved
close.
one pass away. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really get too hung up when, kind of older musical heroes of mine pass. I don't know, it's maybe something weird about me, but I'm always kind of like, they did pretty good. So,
Yeah, totally.
that's fine. But John Prine really hit me pretty hard.
Well, he was definitely still out there.
Yeah.
Doing it, and he had overcome so much to keep doing it, and so it just felt so unfair.
What got me about John Prine is just all the huge range of people he touched, and nobody had anything bad to say about him. And that's pretty amazing for a professional touring musician to have such a long career and to basically be treating people right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Well, should we do it?
Yeah. So this is.
If anybody knows this one, you can feel free to sing along at home. This is one that I grew up listening to. I think I really love Nancy Griffith's cover of this song. It's called "The Speed of the Sound of Loneliness." You come home late and you come home early. You come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. What in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. Well, I got a heart that burns with a fever, and I got a worried and a jelly mind. I can't love that'll last forever get left so far behind. So what in the world's come over you? And what in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. It's a mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow. It's crossed the evil line today.
heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run.
So tasty.
Such a great song.
So good.
So tasty.
So good. He has such a sense of humor in his songwriting, and I just love that. That's the thing I'm always like bringing in this, like, I feel it as like John Prine's presence when I'm writing, when I like put like dad jokes in songs, you know, like just like a weird sense of humor, like this quirky thing that I don't even think girls are really allowed to do in songwriting that I've seen, but I still try to do it. And I feel
Are there
like
things girls aren't allowed to do?
Well, I mean, I don't see it. I feel like people probably would not take that energy from a woman, which is silly. Like, there are some, there's like more comedic songwriters out there, folk songwriters that are really fun, but it's just more rare to have like a little like hook and a quirk in what you do, you know? And I just want to see more of that. So I'm going to keep channeling John Prine into my songs and just throw like a little zag when you think it's going to zig, and like a rhyme that doesn't quite rhyme, and, you know, like just something kind of silly that like isn't that you wouldn't put in a song that you would like sell to somebody else to sing, you know? And yet people cover John Prine all the time because he's amazing. And I think it is those little quirky things. Maybe it's like wabi sabi, you know, that idea of like a little imperfection that you throw in at the last minute that makes it all more beautiful.
Well, and the music's so relatively straightforward, you know, just these like finger style patterns, but talk about lyrics. You know, there's huge stories and pictures that he paints with words, and it's not so much in the music as it is in the storytelling.
True that.
Totally. Well, Evie and Keith, what you got?
What's y'all's cover?
What's your cover?
Maybe we'll take that segue
Is
to
it from the 90s?
Another one of the maybe not the one you're thinking of.
Not the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Not the one you're thinking of. Because literally, you know, the CDs, remember what CDs are, they landed at our house right as everything shut down, as we were launching our spring tour and immediately shut it down. We had an EP of cover songs that was supposed to come out between two records of originals, but the originals just took precedence. So it's called Playing Our Hand. And another amazing storyteller is Paul Simon.
Oh, yeah.
Someone whose songs at a music camp a few years ago, had one of those up till dawn, like one of those sessions where you're like, oh my God, the sky's getting lighter. What's happening? You know, I've been up that late. But we went to see him, Paul Simon, on his supposed farewell tour. And it was...
I tried so hard to get tickets to that.
It was an arena show, which we hardly ever go to anymore. But a few years ago, Keith had gotten me tickets to see Merle Haggard on my birthday. And then he had bronchitis and rescheduled for a date. We had a gig and we couldn't go to the show. And then he died. And he died before I ever got to see Merle Haggard live. And so I committed to going to see my favorite musicians because, you know... As a touring musician, years ago, I kind of quit going to like the huge shows. You know, I go support my friends or I'm playing or whatever. So we went to see Paul Simon, and boy, his repertoire, there was tons of stuff that I'd never even heard, and so many different sounds, and every era just had a new flavor to it. Very cool.
So good.
You want to add anything to that?
No, I was still thinking about Merle Haggard.
Okay, you're still on Merle Haggard. But tell them your Merle Haggard story, though. But make it short, I guess.
I'll try to make it brief. I was hired to play a gig with Merle Haggard years ago, with on drums. And so the gig was up in Pendleton, Oregon, and which is a military area up there, and it was the culmination of Merle Haggard Week in Pendleton. So we went up to Reading to rehearse with Merle and then drove on over to Pendleton. Merle was going to come later. Long story short, Merle never showed up. And so
He pulled a possum.
He pulled a possum, and it turned ugly because the whole week had been building up to Merle appearing, and he didn't show. It was one of his it was the era where he was less than responsible. And we survived it, but it was a rough going. It was a rough gig in the end.
Audience took it out on the band.
Wow.
That
I
was
didn't
there.
know. Keith, I didn't know you had those California country like cred roots, you know? I just didn't know.
Yeah, I played drums in a lot of country bands and stuff. I was mainly a jazz drummer, but I somehow got roped into country, I think because I had grown up in Texas.
You're from Texas, you know the sound.
Say what?
Yeah. Oh, you're from Texas, you know the sound. You
Right,
know.
exactly. You must play country.
But he grew up playing jazz, so when I showed up, his parents were like, music we understand. Anyway, back to Paul Simon.
Yeah.
This song kind of resonates with these days. Hat on, earphones off.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Subsiding away, subsiding away. You know the near destination, the more you subsiding away. Well, I know a man, he came from my hometown. He wore his passion for his woman like a thorny crown. He said, Dolores, I live in fear. My love for you's overpowered, I'm afraid that I will disappear. Subsiding away, subsiding away. You know the near destination, the more you subsiding away. Well, I know a woman became a wife. These are the very words she uses to describe her life. She said a good day, yeah, well it ain't got no rain. She said a bad day's when I lie in bed, I think of things that might have been. Subsiding away, subsiding away. You know the near destination, the more you subsiding away. Well, I know a father who had a son. He longed to tell him all the reasons for the things he'd done. He came a long way just to explain. He kissed his boy as he lay sleeping. He turned around and headed home again. He subsiding away, subsiding away. You know the near destination, the more you subsiding away. Subsiding away, subsiding away, subsiding away, subsiding away, subsiding, subsiding away, subsiding away. God only knows, God makes his plan. The information's unavailable to the mortal man. We work at our jobs, we collect our pay. Believe we're gliding down the highway when in fact we're subsiding away. We're subsiding away, subsiding away.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that song so.
I'm gonna keep clapping because they can't hear us yet. Wait,
Yeah, right.
Very good.
I love that song so much, and like,
so good.
It's a banjo
There's-
tune, man.
Well, there's something like I love that sentiment of like the closer to your destination, the more slip sliding away. It like just reminds me of that whole concept of like whoever thinks or says that they have the answer, that they've like figured it out, they really don't, you know. And like I don't know. Of course Paul Simon's voice. It's so like soothing and comforting. So it's like. It almost makes me cry every time because it's like, oh yeah, we control nothing there, but like it's gonna be okay. We're just slip sliding away. It's like a really gentle way of doing that.
Have a little
Holding
faith.
space. Yeah.
I did that song in high school with my first acoustic duo. We used to play this little gig at this pizzeria called Mama's.
Aw.
And me and my buddy John Cusimano, and we did that song. And we were called American Ocean.
Amazing. I love that name.
It's like sea train or
Awesome.
Was
Oh, wait.
was the
Jacob, what's your first band name?
oh my god.
The Village Idiots.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
There exists in the closet behind us, which I don't know if you know, a VHS cassette tape of that band.
Sick.
Somewhere.
All right.
One day we'll find a VHS player.
Player.
I don't know how we'll find that, but
my first band name was the Negative Nancys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Excellent.
Mine was like a trio with two twin friends of mine. And it was like very folky lady trio, and we kept changing our name. Like we could not decide. So it started out, I think, as Queen Mab, I believe, and then it was and that's like a Shakespeare reference. We were like, you know, in high school,
Sick.
and then it was the George Costanza Trio, which was
That's
dumbest.
awesome.
And then we settled on Beat Rice, which was like Beatrice, but Beat Rice.
Nerds.
That was the most hippied out sounding one, and we definitely wore
Beat
like
Rice?
hippie
Beat Rice, that's
skirts.
good.
We looked like total hippies.
Beat Rice.
Like
All right,
goth
Keith.
hippies.
I know your best band name.
No, well, my first band name was Madras 5, the Madras 5.
Ooh.
Wait, but the one I'm thinking of.
Sounds
Your
like a
college
rock
band that was
Oh,
going to
my
make
college
it.
band, Joint Effort.
Oh, okay. Was that a weed
Get
reference?
I don't know what that was about.
Joint
But
effort.
that was the band that went to New York and recorded a whole bunch for Columbia.
Right. It's
Wow.
at Electric Ladyland Studios. It was
And then
amazing.
amazing.
and then
It
nothing
was really
happened.
amazing.
Tell me it was a reggae band.
Was Eddie Kramer there?
It was not. Eddie Kramer was around. Yeah,
Ah.
Ron Johnson, all those guys. And the great thing is, when we were there, we spent the entire summer recording like 2.5 LPs worth of original material. And all these people, Wicked Lester was there, who became Kiss. And Stevie Wonder was recording Talking Book there.
Wow.
Stephen Stills was around. It was an amazing summer for a kid from Texas.
Amazing.
Legend.
Was George Costanza there?
No, but his trio was.
That's amazing.
Sweet.
Wow,
So let's
good
see.
talk, guys.
Golden Shoals.
Yeah, I guess
back to original music.
I guess we're up again.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
The final
Back to
final
original.
countdown.
I see we have the same pick. Fancy Kalansky.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've got
The
mine in
old
black.
Wiegand.
Yes.
I feel really left out.
Let's get an endorsement. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to get a pick
Blue
for that
chip,
bass
man.
there.
I got my glue-on fingernail.
Ah. Yeah, Wiegand sponsor
Well,
us. Hashtag sponsor
So
us.
sad that we're coming to the end of this.
I know. I'm really enjoying this.
You guys want to just
Hang.
get on Zoom after this and have us all hang?
Keep going.
I'd rather fly to Nashville. I'd rather
Yeah.
drive to Nashville.
Yeah.
Come on,
Visit.
come on.
We went on a
Get
hike
that-
last time you were here. That was so fun.
I know. Yeah.
Get that
ju-
second dose and come on.
We did just drive 3,600 miles.
Right.
Right.
To Texas and back.
Oh, nice.
That must have been amazing.
God, that's how far it is.
In a big box.
It was 1,800 miles each way. Yeah.
Were you
It's a
afraid
long
of
way.
blowing over?
It was amazing.
It was a fight. It was a windy fight on the way
Yeah.
back,
Oh,
just
man,
about
I'm
every
sure.
day.
40 in North Texas, man. I've been there.
Yeah.
Well, Well, yeah. Well, we'll finish it off with another song that's on our new album, and I guess I'll just show the folks at home. Oh my gosh! Make sure that glare isn't happening. That's us, Golden Shoals. It's not the first album we've come out with, but the first album since changing our band name, which we did on January 1st of 2020, and we didn't really get the opportunity to put the miles behind the new name. But
yeah. We have an album, so it's official.
Yeah, it's official.
And you're playing the Green Note.
We're playing the Green Note. Hopefully we can do it in person sometime soon. I wrote the song. So Mark and I used to we weren't really based anywhere. We were on the road all the time, but for a few years we would return to Asheville, North Carolina in the falls and springs. And I wrote this song the first time we landed there. And, it's obviously filled with the joy of like moving to a new place and sort of like all the opportunity that can happen. And it features my favorite bar in Asheville called the Double Crown, where there's country karaoke on Monday nights, Western Swing Wednesday on Wednesday nights, and there's like a big Hank Williams shrine by the bathroom. So I've done my fair share of tipsy two-step in there. It's called Live Easy. Oh yeah, good idea.
Okay.
I got a wandering eye and a heart to match, and a pair of brown boots too hard to catch, 'cause I bought a new bike. It goes real fast, faster than the city's eating all my cash, but I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, even if it makes me broke. I got people and places low and high, they're standing in my corner and they're getting me by. And I've got a man, he'll never be mine. He wants to stay friends and I can't decide, but I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, even if my heart gets broke. I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, ain't nothing gonna get me down. I'm gonna leave my troubles and worries behind, paint a new coat on the town. I got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot, two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, ain't nothing gonna get me down. I got the old-time fever in a really bad way, got me picking and a grinning and wasting my days. And this place has a way of wearing, so they say. The weather's getting warmer, so I think I'll stay. And I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, even if it wears my soul. I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, ain't nothing gonna get me down. Gonna leave my troubles and worries behind, paint a new coat on the town. Got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot, two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, ain't nothing gonna get me down. Alright, Fancy Kiliansky. A souped-up Chevy tank is full of gas, and I'm fixing on splitting when I pack my bags. I got an itchin' that I know the open road can scratch. Ain't no tellin' if I ever come back, but I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Doesn't matter where I go, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. I'm gonna leave my troubles and worries behind, paint a new coat on the town. Got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot, two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, ain't nothing gonna get me down. I got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot, two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, ain't nothing gonna get me, nothing gonna get me, nothing gonna get me.
There you go. Live easy, friends.
Wait, we're gonna keep clapping until you get your headphones on.
Did you hear my Fancy Kiliansky shout out?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna stick. Like, why not?
I mean, some people call him Pretty Fingers too, so I feel like that's the
Fancy Kiliansky. So good.
Thanks for that one.
Love that. That one's a rocker.
Where is the Double Crown?
It's on Haywood.
Okay.
Really close to. Did you ever go to Battle Cat, that coffee shop on Haywood?
Mm-mm.
It's like right next door. Bobcat, it's good. I mean, I hope they're still open.
Yeah, it's maybe like 3/4 of a mile down from ISIS.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So on that side of town.
Okay, we've definitely been.
Yeah, west side.
Down, back toward downtown.
Back toward downtown. Nice.
Yeah.
I miss Asheville.
Yeah.
We've seen a little of a whole lot of places.
Well, I went to camp. I went to camp in Asheville for many summers.
Camp?
Cool, like summer camp?
Yeah, Camp Rockmont in Black Mountain.
It's where they do the Leaf Festival.
Oh,
Can I tell you a random summer camp confluence from this pandemic? I was watching Better Things. Have you seen Better Things?
Mm-mm.
It's excellent, but
Stranger Things.
The woman who wrote it is definitely my contemporary. She was the voice of Bobby on King of the Hill for many years.
Oh my God!
But so she writes it. It's sort of a true life, show. Anyway, it's not a reality show. But at one point, she's in a scene with what's his name, Ferris Bueller.
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. And Matthew Broderick starts singing My Summer Camp Song, which I had no idea. And then I sort of Wikipedia'd everybody and realized that the woman who wrote it, Pamela Arden, that she kind of grew up in the same area and would have been in this same time period. And so I'm like trying to desperately, I'm putting it out there to all of you. Do you know, did she go to my camp at the same time? Were we at camp together and I didn't even know?
Yo, that's like a folklore PhD waiting to happen, like regional summer camp songs.
Seriously, yeah.
Oh yeah, we have lots of
Patty
songs.
cake, summer camp songs.
Yeah.
Well, what you got?
Yeah, play something.
All right, we're gonna take a wild card here and do a brand new song. I just wrote this song with Molly Tuttle. I didn't write much this whole last year. Anxiety and everything was kind of a killer for me with the pandemic. And I'm coming out of it again, and I've been writing a bunch with Molly. We're on a tear of California bluegrass songs. That's what we're writing. So we both kind of grew up in that, so it just kind of comes naturally. So this is one that's based on another California resident, Tom Waits, has this quote about talking to his kids about his life and the life choices that he's made, and how he's like a crooked tree, and how it's okay to be a crooked tree because the straight ones all get cut down anyway because they're better, for lumber. It's kind of dark, really, but I was like, that's a bluegrass song. So we made
anything with crooked
song.
In the name.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's crooked, and
there's a tree.
That's what you want.
We just worked this up mere an hour before.
We'll see
unrecorded.
If I remember the lyrics.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Nobody records. Not allowed. Not allowed. It's a freshie. We're just gonna try it on though and see. So this is called Crooked Tree.
2 trees in the forest, one was crooked, one was straight. Crimson bark and emerald needles growing day by day. And though they look so different, they enjoy the rain the same side by side. The chickadee had told them of a darkness on the land, the spinning blades that came to visit carried by a man. That every other tree would see them cut down where they stand by and by. Oh, can't you see a crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine? They're left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree. The perfect trees were driven down the mountain to the mill to turn them into toothpicks and $20 bills. Seems the more the people took, the more they needed still, even so. The crooked trees were left there after all the work was done, and now they go for weeks and never witness anyone. Nobody to tell them if they're growing right or wrong, not a soul. Oh, can't you see a crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine? left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a cricket tree. People say I'm different, my way of life seems strange. I took the road less traveled, twists and turns along the way. But like the cricket tree, I'm growing stronger day by day as the clouds roll by. A river never wonders why it flows around the bend. A mountain doesn't question how it rose up from the land. So who am I to wish I wasn't just the way I am? Who am I? Oh, can't you see? A crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine. They're left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree. Oh, can't you see? A crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine. They're left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree.
Love the crooked phrasing in the chorus.
Tone
that
painting.
was clever.
Yeah, that's an awesome tune.
Thanks guys. Yeah, it's good. This is its debut. We're just getting it out there, trying it on.
The off-the-cuff vibe is good.
Yeah.
Jake, you make a good Molly.
Well, thank you. I don't know how to take that, but it's fine.
Actually, Jacob, I was talking with Mark about this a couple tunes ago. Has anybody ever told you, maybe I've told you this, but has anybody ever been like, you look like Jeff Tweedy?
You know, yes. Maybe it was you.
Maybe it was me.
But usually it's Jack Black. But yeah, Jeff Tweedy has been mentioned.
Jack
And that's
Black.
great. I'm a huge Wilco fan. So.
He's also gotten the white Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I've gotten that. That's weird.
Your mileage maker.
Yeah, I don't get that. So just riffing on Melody, you were saying, I totally identify with that. Like that, the shutdown was not a creative boost for me. And one of the things that was successful is that I actually developed a practice habit for the first time in my life because there needed to be absolutely nothing else going on for me to really dive into practice. And I practiced so much that I actually got injured and now I'm recovering and I can't practice at all. But, there are milestones I made, that's kind of how I was filling my time. And then Melody also was like tipping me off on leading me a little bit, baby steps into my TikTok adventure with doing body music snippets because I was creating these with a class I was teaching. But just curious, songwriting has not been prolific during this time, partly because I don't really want to talk about what's going on these days. I'm not great. I have a few protest songs, but it's not really I don't know. It just felt like there were these waves of new songs and stuff. And I just took a giant step back, probably for the first time in my life. And I'm curious about you, Mark and Amy, if it's been have you been prolific or have you been just kind of
Absolutely not.
trying to make do?
Yeah, normalize.
I wrote like 2 songs,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure either of them is good. Everything is just a little too close, or got this big thing right in the front of our face, and you usually need a little bit of space to actually write about it.
Yeah, same. It's like, I dealt with my own, getting over the anxiety and depression and feeling like my entire identity was being questioned because a lot of our identity is wrapped up with our performances. And, I wrote some stuff and yeah, it's kind of the same thing of I think another big thing was with the, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement and the death of George Floyd and the protests going on all around the country. I just kind of wasn't feeling like my voice particularly needed to be heard.
Yeah,
And,
totally.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get better at even just like working it like a muscle. That's like that. So like similarly, like, you know, just writing and as a practice routine, and it doesn't have to be good. I think that's always like the important thing. It just doesn't have to be good, but just get in the habit of doing it. And so we'll see.
It's been interesting to really take note of how much I love the energy of human beings.
Yeah.
And that without really sharing that energy, I mean, you all know, and some of the audience knows, we're also dancers, and I call square dances, and just that energy of like touching sweaty strangers. You know, it's nonverbal, and I get a lot from nonverbal communication, in which this environment doesn't really lead to much of that. It's either quiet or it's online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you just don't get that cellular energy from people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things that leads to creation is experience, and we're all, of course, having some experience, but I don't know. It's not. I would say it's not as much of an experience as it would be to like be in the world, doing our thing. We are kind of paused in a way.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be writing nature songs just because that's all they've got.
It's about my garden. I'm just obsessed.
Well, and I feel like it'll be nice to have some space away from, like, if we ever get out of, you know, the you know, being able to gather safely, like return to normal. You know, I think, you know, retrospectively, I might write about this period of time, but like, kind of like, I think it's like, I just don't want to like sing about being in quarantine, or, you know, it's like, it sucks enough as it is, you know, like why like dwell on it, or but it might be nice being on the other side of it to like, be like, remember that time? That was
How about you,
hard.
Jake?
Sourdough. Just gonna make sourdough right now after this.
Oh, can I get some starter from you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, outside masked, we'll do an exchange.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Quarantine was actually really creative for me, strangely.
He had a totally different experience.
Yeah, I like kind of needed to rediscover myself as a musician after like 5 years of running this touring band, or 10 years of being of running bands, and then 5 years of like really running this band that we're in. And so I kind of dove headfirst into home studio stuff and was like, oh, I can play my own music and do whatever I want to do and make my own videos. And I made a record by myself, and that will somehow at some point come out.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of took it as an opportunity to try to like, just work on some things that I've been wanting to work on for years and never did. Recently, I've started learning the 5-string banjo.
I started learning fingerstyle guitar.
Heck yeah.
Slow as molasses. It's amazing.
Yeah, the banjo is really slow. Even though it's supposed to be fast. I don't know how anybody does that yet. It's insane.
What about you, Keith? You've been really prolific during this time?
Well, in certain ways, I've been prolific. In some ways, I've just been unable to finish things. You know, it's like I would start something, but just following it through fruition is sometimes really challenging.
Yeah.
But I have been working a lot on my educational materials. Doing a lot of that and playing a lot of drums, which was my first love, and it's nice to have chops again on that instrument.
Tell them about your new trio that you.
Yeah, I've got a couple of. I've been playing music with other people in the yard kind of throughout the pandemic, but one of my favorites is a trio of trombone, tuba, and drums.
Heck yeah,
cool.
And
Bluegrass.
It's just so fun.
Let's play some jazz next time I'm out there, man. So fun.
Yeah, come on by.
Yeah, they were playing in the driveway all the time, and then we had one neighbor who didn't like it. Like, all the other neighbors were like, it's awesome, live music, so great. And one neighbor was like, it's bumming me out.
I just hate
So we moved it to the backyard. I mean, it never was a performance, even when we were in the driveway. It was always, we were really just playing for the music, you know, and to kind of feed ourselves.
Sometimes.
But so we moved to the backyard. It kind of cut out the neighbors, but we're still playing music.
Sometimes people get really angry when they hear trombone. It just happens.
Well, when he came over to complain, I thought it was a joke at first because, there's trombone and there's tuba and there's lots of material there to.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh no, this guy is serious.
He was like, no, it's really annoying.
No, really, I really want you to stop.
Oh, the pandemic has hit everyone completely differently, right?
It's
and
true.
Some people are having
stuck
a really
together.
hard time.
It is true. I absolutely.
It's like the poor guy's like, oh, how could this get any worse?
Bring on the trombone.
Well, I hope everyone's doing well out there, however you're getting through this pandemic, and I hope you're doing well considering everything, and
True.
that you're feeling more hopeful with vaccinations and stuff.
Can't wait to crowd into that tiny dark club in London. In
Oh my God,
Camden Town.
Sweaty.
Hanging out at the Green Note and then going down to Camden and all that stuff sounds so much fun right now.
Yeah, I hope there's
So
more
great.
moshing at our shows after this, like the Green Note. Just
Well, I
right,
guess we
should
should
we
do our last number. We're gonna do a body music number that I wrote called Dime Store Glasses, and we're gonna experiment here with some live harmonizing since we can here on StreamYard. And so many thanks to Risa and Itzy and all the folks doing sound, and also to Maria Wallace of True North.
Oh yeah.
Who books us all on tours one day.
The boss.
And put this show together. And so we're so grateful to have you out there tooting our horns in the UK.
Heck yeah.
Love you so much. All right, here we go.
Dum boom, dum dum boom, dum boom, dum boom.
Well, I'm gonna buy you a pair of dime store glasses, and you can read the letter I wrote. Well, I'm gonna buy you a pair of dime store glasses, and you can read the letter I wrote. I'm not gonna tell you what it says, what's rolling around in my head. Well, I'm gonna buy me a pair of dark sunglasses, you can't see my eyes been crying. Well, I'm gonna buy me a pair of dark sunglasses, you can't see my eyes been crying.
We got harmonies here.
Oh, how I feel. This pain is so real. Da dum 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 da 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 dum dum da dum dum. Go Keith. Da dum 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 da da dum dum da dum dum. I'm gonna dust off my old brandy glasses, pour myself a stiff cocktail. Well, I'm gonna dust off my old brandy glasses, pour myself a stiff cocktail.
Day drinking.
Put on some old southern blues. Gonna dance around in my shoes. Da dum dum dum, yaddy 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 dum.
Get it. I'm gonna buy you a one-way ticket to Memphis. You go tell them all what you did. Well, I'm gonna buy you a one-way ticket to Memphis. You tell them all what you did. What I do.
I'm putting on those southern blues. Gonna dance around in my shoes. 'Cause I'm so lonely living with you, I'd rather be living alone.
Oh! We just sang together, guys.
Yay!
We did.
We couldn't hear you, but we could see you.
I wonder how it came across.
We did it.
I'm excited.
Emma, how'd it go?
It was terrific. You were all fantastic, and what a lovely thing to end on as well, to see you guys dancing, and we got to sample a bit of that body percussion, which is great fun. It was so nice. Thanks very much, guys. It was all just wonderful. You all did brilliantly. It was a real treat.
Treat for us too. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah. So viewers, I hope you will enjoy this episode as much as I have. Please do feel free to send the link on to friends or family, or to watch it again as much as you like, because the show is going to stay online for everybody to watch for the next 7 days. I am going to ask all the artists a little bit about what they've been up to lately, but before I do that, I want to remind everybody watching that, as Imi and Risa mentioned earlier, these shows are not ticketed, they're donation based. So if you've been watching, we would like to ask you to make a donation, if you're able to, via the PayPal link, which the girls have posted below and in the comments box too. We suggest a bargainous amount of £10, but whatever you're able to give will be very much appreciated. Your donation will be divided 4 ways between the 3 artists that you've just watched, well, 3 acts that you've just watched, and to the Green Note for the running costs of these live shows. And as I'm sure you can imagine, your support means a great deal at the moment. So we have come to the bit in the evening where the artists tell us a wee bit more about what they've been up to lately. And I know we would like to hear all of your news and find out where we can hear your music. So Golden Shoals, I know that you've got a new album out. That's very cool. Please do tell us more about that.
Yeah, that's kind of our big news during the pandemic. We actually launched our crowdfunding campaign last March when the pandemic started. So that was quite a way to start off, but we got through it. We did the whole thing. Came out with, this little guy.
Ta-da!
Golden Shoals, self-titled.
Brilliant.
We also have some other cool items in our store, including this old buffalo poster inspired by one of the tunes from the album. This was made right here in Nashville.
Yeah, letter pressed by our friend Camp Never Nice. Her name's Laura Baisden, but her company's Camp Never Nice, and she's done posters for like Gillian Welsh and Chris Stapleton, and there's only like a limited run of these. I think we only have 30 left, and once they're gone, they're gone. We can't reprint them, so they're gorgeous.
Get in quick, guys.
Yeah, some t-shirts up there too that kind of also feature the buffalo.
That's all on our website. We've got a store there on our website, so goldenshoals.com.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We're also teaching lessons and stuff like that, so yeah.
That's very cool. And that's available on your website, is it? Your lessons, links and things to that?
You could just shoot us an email to find out more information, but we teach privately, so yeah.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. And Front Country, you've got a new album out as well. Tell us more about that.
We do. It's called Impossible World. Everyone likes to say that it's the coolest thing that they've ever done, but it really is the coolest thing that we've ever made. It looks like this.
Actually,
it's got a big glare on it.
Fun story about this record. This record has some relation to the UK. We were touring Australia in 2019, back in the time before, and we met this band from Brighton called the Moulettes that we became friends with. We were kind of following them around, did a couple shows together, and the lead singer of the Moulettes did our cover art.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Very cool looking. We love it so much. Nice. And we've made a lot of content using pieces of this cover art because we love it so much. But yeah, it's mostly songs written by me, if you're digging the songs that I write. And it's kind of we like to call it roots pop. So this is a little less folky than the things you've heard today. Although that song, The Reckoning, is on this record. If you like that.
Great.
You should get one.
Yeah, get involved, guys. It's all good. And last but not least, Evie and Keith, as well as being very busy teaching, you have also released a new EP of covers. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, this is also with our bandmate Eric Pearson. It's called Playing Our Hand, and it's 6 interesting covers. And some of you know the artist Snap Jackson is a great banjo player.
Yay.
And he drew us all these images for it that represent the songs, and a really wide range. And then I mentioned this, but I just started doing this Motor Mondays, and every Monday putting out a clip on all the socials of doing a song with body music, dancing, accompaniment. And I've gone from, making these really long pieces to making 15, 30-second dances. So that's something.
Are you a
that's keeping
TikTok
me-
sensation?
I wouldn't say sensation. I would say that you can find me there.
Yes.
And I have a few hundred students on a platform called Peghead Nation. A lot of people that I don't see, but it's a subscription platform, and so that's been really helpful during this time.
That's great. Yeah,
And
other
live
artists that have been on the show too have been involved in that platform.
Oh, yeah,
That sounds very good. Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of workshops. I was in the Ukraine on Sunday. I'll be in Ecuador this afternoon.
Busy guy.
All from the comfort
From
of my
this room.
office. So, and then I have like lots of mini lessons, small lessons, short lessons in body music that I've been posting throughout the pandemic on the website. And there are series for teachers to teach teachers. There are series for young children, all kinds of specialized things.
That's really cool. Great. Thanks very much. And yeah, you can, viewers, you can see that on their websites there just below to the left there. So it has been a brilliant and fascinating show tonight with really great chat. I've really enjoyed it. And dancing as well. We hardly ever get dancing. In fact, if ever, I think this might be our first dancing we've had. It's awesome. Apart from chair dancing, which happens quite regularly, which we love as well.
Pole dancing.
So like
yeah.
This is where we go right away.
It's all good.
2 seconds.
Family show.
So yeah, I hope everybody has enjoyed tonight's show too. And so for the last time, we're going to say a goodbye and a thank you very much to the glorious Golden Shoals.
Thank you for having us.
Our absolute pleasure. Bye, guys. And a goodbye and a thank you very much to the fabulous Front Country. Hello. You look a bit spooked there. Rabbit in headlights. Been lovely
Off
seeing
the
you.
island.
And a goodbye and a thank you very much to the excellent Evie Ladin and Keith Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you too. It's been lovely. So thank you all for joining us tonight. A great big thank you to the True North Music for curating tonight, and to Imi and Risa as always, and to Ali for working his tech magic behind the scenes on the sound and the cameras. We are here every Wednesday and Friday with fantastic new lineups for every show. Thanks very much for tuning in tonight, and good night to you. We'll see you back here very soon.